Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy. It's been a long week and a week of knowledge and learning and educating and all things that need to happen. And somebody who is doing all of those things and more is back in the house, I think, fourth time appearing on this show, which makes her the guest we've had the most, and rightfully so. Steph Sabraw.
Yes.
I like this move. We don't do this enough in life. This is what we should be doing all week. This is the
people's champion move.
Yeah. I saw this Facebook post going around. I wonder if you saw it, and probably not, because who the fuck uses Facebook anymore, but sure.
Yeah.
And it was like, for those of you guys who questioned whether or not protesting is working. And then it said all of the things that have taken place and positive movement that's happened since people have been protesting in the last 8 days. And it was like, holy shit, this is fucking working. Like, this is working. And yes, it's going to take a really long time. And no, this is not enough. And yes, we're going to have to make a billion other changes at such high levels that it's going to take years and years. But right now, what we're doing is fucking working.
Yes.
So
yes.
One more time, everybody,
for the good people.
Why does yours look so much cooler than mine? Are you going backwards or forward?
I've been practicing backwards. And then
I feel like there's too much wrist movement. You're not really moving. Yeah. Okay. Woo!
Yeah.
And the crowd goes wild.
Woo!
Oh my God. Steph, also, I will say we are going to be talking about, of course, BLM today on the show and protesting, because you have been doing the damn thing. But something that I briefly mentioned to you right before we went up that we're also going to be talking about, because completely different topic, but also something that is so fucked up. I started watching Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich on Netflix. And I mean, what the fuck?
I mean, and all of it plays into BLM in a like fucked up way, because it's like, these are the powers that be. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
And the best thing that ever happened for Jeffrey Epstein is that this got dropped a week and a half, maybe like actually 2 days prior to everybody finally leaving their houses to go protest. Like, somebody's still looking out for that mofo. Even though no longer, like, somebody's still trying to protect legacy or whatever. Because the fact that nobody's talking about this show, and I'm one episode in, and I'm like, I mean, not that I didn't know what was, obviously I watched the news, but to the extent, holy shit.
I didn't.
Not to this fucking extent. Holy shit. So we will be talking about that. And of course, taking questions from you guys, Streamlabs, Super Chat, Patreon, all that stuff. But starting with you, Steph, just so people know, because obviously I talk to you and catch up with you, but they don't know what's been going on. What have your last couple of days looked like? What have you been participating in? How have you been protesting?
So much. It's been like a full-time job. And we keep joking about it in a positive way. It's like, this pandemic has made it so we have the time. Like, I have the time. So basically, I've been waking up reading, whether it be I was reading the new Jim Crow, which is a great book, or We Gonna Be All Right, another great book. Resources, I've just been trying to do like at least an hour a day of that, because our schools robbed us of the history that we should be aware of and the reasons why we're in this position. And then in the day, usually the past few days, I've just been going to protests around all of LA. I've gone to downtown, West Hollywood, Santa Monica. And then yesterday we were in like the heart, the one where you saw, what'd you say, about 50K people?
50,000 people. Yeah, there's this one. If you guys check out, I actually posted on AfterBuzz's, but it's all over now, the internet, on AfterBuzz's Instagram. But again, it's everywhere. It's this drone shot. Have you seen this stuff? The drone shot going through. It's like you can even see the Hollywood street sign. I think it says Hollywood on, or maybe it says Highland, but it's like on Vine and Highland or wherever. And just the drone coming through, and it doesn't fucking stop. Like,
And that's how it is when you're in it. You can't look forward or back past like 20 yards, and all you just know that it just doesn't stop. And it is the best feeling in the world to be in it. And it's crazy because I last week or almost a week and a half ago now, when we heard about the protests, at first, like all you saw was the demonization of protesters and the looters and the riots and all of these things. So you were made to be scared of what could happen. And like family members were like, I know you're going to protest, but if you do, like, you have to be so safe. Do you have to do this? Do you have to do this? So I was kind of scared.
Tactic at first? Do you think that that was
Yes,
like something that they were very aware of, police officers, military, government? Do you think they were like, okay, this is how we're going to deter them from protesting by making everybody at home really fucking scared?
I think that could have been it for some of it. I also think if that wasn't it, riots and protests and looting have been going on for decades, and if it seemed like there was absolutely no protocol for that other than to like incite and make it worse. Right. And when I don't know what their purpose of that, but it worked. And for the Fox Newses in the world, they ate that shit up, and they're still eating that shit up, even though the past few days, and every single one I've been to, is the definition of peaceful and just empowering, and just all we're asking for is equal rights. People keep saying, I don't know why that's a debate, and they don't want to answer that question because they know it shouldn't be a debate.
Well, it's like we talked about this on the show a little bit yesterday, and I know that you know about this on here, but fucking YouTube, who's debating whether or not this is a political issue that we're talking about. And it's like, this is not a debate. This is human rights is not a political issue. Like, you are born black and you have the same rights as somebody who was born not black, period. Like, what the fuck your life matters as much you are, but we're not treating it like that way. So it's crazy. I will say I found a way to kind of cheat the system a bit. We'll see if they catch on to it. But now what I've been doing is for today, it does say, what are protests really like? I'm trying to push the boundaries because they might flag that and know that protests have to do with BLM. But as long as I don't tag beforehand Black Lives Matter, and then I click the monetize, and then afterwards I go in and tag Black Lives Matter and then change my caption, then they're not fucking with me. So if you're listening, YouTube, I've fucking outsmarted you, and I will be continuing to use every dollar that I can to fucking donate and support BLM and suck my fucking dick. And
dude, yes.
Thank you for letting me have a platform, and also go fuck yourselves. All those
Rox, what you're doing, and the rock stars, your group rallying behind you on this, is so important because there are so many different forms of protest. And I really want to make that clear. I don't think I'm like a better activist because I'm out on the streets. That is the form of protest that I love. I know that Roxy's also the same way, but we know that she's taking care of her grandparents. So
yeah, but I've been looking, Steph. I've been looking because, okay, so there's been a lot more family-friendly protests that are going. I put it in quotes because all peaceful protests should theoretically be family-friendly, but especially if you have like infants or, you know, really, really young children, sometimes very large protests are not the best way because of things that babies and kids need, you know. So sometimes smaller protests can be better. So I've been looking, and I want to give this as a resource actually for everybody. I don't know if you're following them right now, Steph, but if not, you're going to want to be, because there's this Instagram account that is called In This Together Los Angeles, but the actual handle is at In This Together _LA. Are you following them? Yeah, they're fucking amazing, and they've been sharing all the different protests that are happening and like kind of what they're geared towards. And I'm just looking, and I'm gonna find a protest that maybe is a little bit smaller, that I can be on the outskirts of, that I can, because every day.
Money is the number one thing that talks. So I think the people are shitting their pants because we're breaking the system that was already broken and not meant for any of us, especially Black and brown people. But one of them is money. Like, when you really put money to the organizations that matter and build up your community to learn with you and all of this stuff, that's just as powerful.
Yeah.
And Roxy's texting in a protest the whole time. She's like, is there a place I can drive by and give out waters? Is
My
there a place
texts
I
to Steph are fucking aggressive. I'm like, yo, what's your exact location right now? Where can my car be? Can I hand throw waters at your face? Like, it just doesn't, I'm not even making sense. But I just want to be there. I would like to hit, I went over with you guys the other day, a couple days ago, my checklist of every day, seeing how I'm being the best ally I can be. And there were 7 things on my checklist. And I try to check off at least 3 or 4 of them every day to make sure that I'm donating, lending my platform, amplifying Black voices, social mediaing out, going to a protest if you can. Like, there's all different ways. And so I agree, Steph, no way is better than another way. You just want to make sure that you are trying to touch all these ways. But for me, I want to fucking protest. That's who I am. And like, I want to be a part of it. And I want to know that I've done everything that I can do. So yeah, I've been looking, and I didn't know about it until it was too late, but there was one in Century City the other day that was a family friendly one that actually my friend Ritza went to, and she's going to be coming on this show. She's a writer on High School Musical, the musical. And she's just like this badass fucking mom, work woman, everything. She's just an incredible person, but she went to it, and I was like, you have to tell me about these family friendly ones. That's me. She's like, you do not have kids. I'm like, I'm the kid. Like, this is exactly what I need. So
Wait,
I'm definitely looking.
ask Ritza, though, when she's here, other than the more important stuff, which is BLM, why they did High School Musical, the musical,
the
the
series. Yeah,
yeah.
must know.
Must know.
Need explanation immediately. I'm sure she'll know something, like have some kind of, because she was on from season 1. I think they're on season 2 now, or
yeah, I gotta know the name.
We gotta know.
Yeah, other than the protests, I've just been, after doing any personal work, but also watching all the movies and documentaries that they're suggesting. I've watched The Hate You Give, The 13th Again, which I know you've been talking about on your show a lot. It's amazing. And you guys know I'm a V for Vendetta, ride or die. That movie is more applicable than ever. That will get you ready to start some protests. Let me tell you.
Have you rewatched stuff? It's like your obsession. Oh my God.
I rewatched it with my roommates. I made them watch it, and they were like, we're with the psycho anarchist with a V for Vendetta tattoo watching this movie. I'm like, this is how it's supposed to be.
Have your roommates all been protesting as well? Are you guys going together? Wow.
We've been going together, which makes it really comfortable that all of us know that we're implicating our health a little bit, but we're all like, I would die for equal rights, so we don't really care.
Yeah, totally.
And everyone's wearing a mask. Every single person at the protest is wearing a mask, and no one's touching each other.
Steph, I'm hearing that, but however, it's like, I did give this the other day. Hi to one of your amazing roommates. Hi. I gave this analogy the other day. You guys fucking made fun of me, but I'm hearing this from everybody, and this is what it is about the peeing. Have you heard this about the peeing?
No, give it to me.
Okay, so this is what doctors are saying, just using other words, but masks are like, okay, if I have no pants on and you have no pants on and I pee on you, I'm going to get wet, you're going to get wet. If I have no pants on and you have pants on and I pee on you, you're going to get a little less wet. If I have pants on and you have pants on and I pee on you, you're probably not going to get that wet. So that's what masks are doing. Masks are there to make so that you are not getting pissed on as much. And so it's a good thing that everybody's wearing a mask. However, it's not going to make you have zero pee on you. You're still going to get like some pee on you. And all it takes is this much pee to get the virus. Now, that needs to be something, unfortunately, and I hate to say it like this, that we're not fucking worried about right now.
Yeah.
Because we have pressing issues, unfortunately. And as I said on the show, when that becomes an issue, which I think it is going to become an issue at some point, otherwise this whole fucking thing is a bizarre hoax, and I'll have more conspiracy theories than I've ever had in my life. But when this becomes an issue, then we're going to have to fucking deal with it then. And that will be the next thing. Like I used to say, that's tomorrow Roxy's problem. This is tomorrow United States problem. And that's a shitty way to describe it. But like, we're going to have to figure out ways for people to have funding and healthcare and medical bills paid if they get COVID from protesting, and just make sure that people are fucking getting care. And that because what else are we gonna do? Not protest? Like,
I know. I wonder if, like, I know that there's so much argument over the herd mentality or whatever. Like, when you're in massive groups, it kind of dissipates the effect of a virus. People say that's fake, but maybe that's real. Also, though, I feel like the pandemic was the hors d'oeuvre for the biggest problem, which is systemic racism. And whatever happens, happens, but we're not fucking living like this anymore.
right. And I think that, like you were talking about before, the biggest thing that people weren't expecting during this time was for people to be able to give money because everybody lost their fucking job and nobody has money to give. Yet everybody is taking their last dime and being like, no, fuck you. You didn't think we had money? You didn't think we'd come outside? Fuck off. Like,
fuck off. I'll eat my brown rice plain, bitch. I'll donate the extra 5 for my vegetables.
The amount of days that I have had ramen this week.
I know. I'm pasta and brown rice, period.
It is not acceptable. I mean, literally, it's every day, all ramen every day. And like, I'm trying to find ways to get kind of creative with it. So I'm taking my ramen and then like, I'll put like a little bit of chili spice or something, anything to like, I'm like, ooh, this one's a different kind of ramen.
No, you and I are survivalists. They didn't think about the people like us before this pandemic. When the pandemic was just blooming, Rox and I were on the phone and we were like, honestly, I'm prepared to eat a bowl of pasta a day and that's it. I can survive off that. No problem.
Forever. I could do, if I have to, fuck you, I will do that forever. Like, so I'm with, and you guys are the same way. Everybody in the chat and everybody in here. Speaking of you guys, I do want to touch on this. Steph, I don't know if you know what's been going on with Katie, but Larry Lee says, guys, hit that like button, do it for Katie. So we had a girl pop in. I don't know why I thought it was so funny. She was a racist fuck. I mean, she came in just so hot, like in like what it. She came in and was like, I don't even know how I found this channel. It's just another fucking young girl spewing bullshit about Black Lives Matter or some shit. So our Karen here is Katie. Karen's basic. Katie's a bitch. So Katie is the daughter of Karen. We've decided it's like next level racist Katie. But everything we do it for Katie because that bitch, we're gonna drown her out. And then I also feel bad. Yeah, we do it for Katie. I do feel bad though because we have a couple of Katies in here who, like Katie Robinson, who are ride or die rock stars and have been. And it's not those Katies; it's the other Katie, that bitch Katie. Yeah. So Katie is the new Karen.
Katie's with the 3 Ks. Yeah. You know, you're the 1K Katie.
Ooh, yeah, you're a 1K Katie's cool. 3, but don't start spelling 3K Katie in the chat. I don't even want to see that shit.
Sorry,
call her
Katie.
I'm excited. No, you're good. But just like I picture all the time. Now somebody's gonna tune and be like, why is everybody just writing KKK?
Oh, yeah.
So
we need context.
We need to keep it just to Katie, but we know what it is. Lewis Cox says, "Oh man, hey Steph and Roxy. Oh man is kind of right. Oh man, like what the fuck with this world and society and all of the things that are happening. Guys, I do want to go to some of the Patreon things. Still talking about this. Going to Chris Martinez in here. He said, "Hey Roxy and Steph, hope you're having a great day. How do I fight off the negative thoughts that I'm not doing enough? I've donated, signed petitions as much as possible, but I still feel like I'm not doing enough. How do I act nicer to myself? Thanks." Steph, any thoughts on that? How Chris can
I think the fact that you're even asking about that and worried about that shows that you're doing enough. So I think it's about, for me, I felt the same way. Like I was spending like the whole day just like researching and learning and watching movies and docs, which is great in protesting, but you do need self-care time. And it's like, you're going to burn out. So you're going to be more effective longer if you don't burn out and you like pace yourself. So I would I don't know what your max is, 2 to 4 hours a day. Maybe that's your activism max, or 2 hours, and leave it at that. And then that's fucking awesome. An hour a day. Awesome. And then you just do you the rest of the day.
I agree with everything you're saying, but for me, the truth is none of us are doing enough because we're fighting against thousands of years of racism. So like not one, and I swear I'll get to the point to not make you feel like a bag of shit, Chris. Not one of us could solve this if we stayed 24 hours, 7 days a week for the rest of our lives just dedicated to this. It wouldn't be enough. So there's nothing that one person can do. So you have to give yourself a little bit of slack and know that every petition you can sign, you sign. Every dollar that you can donate without putting yourself at risk, obviously, you need to be able to feed your family. You have to be able to house yourself. Maybe you don't go on vacation this year, or maybe you don't eat out at that like really expensive restaurant every single week or whatever it is. But you're doing the things that you can do, and know that you're not going to be able to solve this. You're going to be helping and you're going to do what you can, but that's what when I've been up all night, I've thought to myself, like, I could spend up all night every single night and it wouldn't solve this. So it would make a dent, but I'm just going to keep making little dents. And the biggest way you can make dents is by convincing other people to make dents, so that now you've got your best friend who's also signing petitions. Like I sat down. I have to sit down with my family and be like, here are the petitions. Like, sign them now, because this is what we're doing. So like holding people accountable and things like that. Chris, good question though. Self-love is important, and just know that you're doing what you can.
On that point, Rox, it is nice to have conversations with people who are on the same page as you and wanting to learn and get better and be a part of the solution. But the people that you're kind of afraid to talk to and you don't want to really call and see what side they're on, those are the people you have to fucking call, and you have to have conversations with them. Don't attack them, but start the conversation. Because I will say, I started learning about the racism that exists in America in college, like fully, because before then I was clouded with this lens that we were all equal and treated equally. And it's taken me years, and I'm still learning, and I'll be learning until the day I die. So you have to start the conversation now.
I've been doing that as well, Steph, and that is like one of the hardest parts for me, at least, is calling people out and then holding yourself accountable for those people and like what you say and how, and knowing that your words matter. That has been challenging. Chris really in here right now says, thank you so much. You're welcome, Chris. I hope that helped. Let's go back into the Patreon. Weston Ira says, prepare for trouble, make it double. That's when he knew that you were coming on the show. The one known as Phoenix Force has returned to Live at the Roxy. Is that your name, Phoenix Force?
Yeah.
With general police reform actually in progress, apparently, what does the duo known as Stexy, that's our ship name,
yes,
think about the brawl? I know you haven't heard of it, but it's crazy, so I'm asking about it, between soldiers from China and India recently. Wow, I literally have no idea. This is how in this I am. I don't know jack shit about what's going on in the world right now. But you said we haven't heard about it.
Free Tibet, but I don't know anything about something that's happening now.
A brawl between soldiers from China and India. Wow, I gotta do. I mean, I literally have no fucking idea what is going on outside of this right now. None. I usually have at least some awareness. I don't have any. So that doesn't even sound familiar. I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I will try to educate myself, because I do think it's important, like for the same reason we're going to talk about Jeffrey Epstein in a little bit. I do think it's important to remember that there are also massive fucking issues that aren't necessarily related, but this is where all my focus is going right now. Like it just is. But I don't know. So I can't comment on it. Weston, I love your comment in general though. So you guys in the chat, let us know if you know what's going on with the brawl between soldiers from China and India. Chad said,
I don't know.
Its grip on Hong Kong, but what's happening with India?
Yeah, the latest I knew about China was obviously they had human rights protests too, because they live in a dictatorship, the people, and they were speaking up, and it's so crazy because back in November, I think they started, or December, and we were like, oh my God, protesters are getting arrested in China. Like, what kind of third world country is that? Like, what the and then now that's us.
Remember we're watching people go on the escalator and they were getting beat up, like getting hit, and we were like, who the fuck would do that? And it's like, flash forward.
Dude, yes. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Holy shit.
It's
Yeah.
like, it feels like actual footage from here. Okay, you guys don't know what's happening either. What, Weston, let us know. I mean, for all I know, you could be making shit up. And I'm not saying that you are, but just like somebody could say right now that something crazy happened somewhere, and I'd be like, what? Like, I have no awareness. Okay, Ace says China and India are having a border dispute.
That they've been in border disputes since the beginning of time, which it also has to do with Tibet, because Tibet is a bordering country too, and they have complete control. That's the extent I know about it, though. I actually need to. India is a weak spot for me politically. I don't know much.
Troop clashes. All right. I will do my due diligence. Thank you for bringing this to my radar, because it was clearly not on there before. Let's get to the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Okay. Mark Jason Ali, Mark is the best, says, remember to click like, guys. Oh, thanks, Mark. And hi, Roxy. Hi, Steph. How are you both today? This is a question that I really struggled to answer recently, because it feels like you're kind of fucked no matter how you answer this. If you say you're not well, then you compare yourself to the fact that, like, so I'm fucking white, so I am well. If I say that I am well, that's not true, because what's going on is fucking disgusting and disturbing. So how are you answering this question? How are you today?
It actually came to me in a song, because I've been asked this, and I was listening to Janae Aiko's album. She's my favorite. And she has a song called Born Tired, and there's lyrics that say tired but fired up. And that's exactly how I feel. I'm fucking tired, but I'm fired the fuck up, and I like fucking hate white supremacy. So
wait, shit. What happened? She clicked out. It was such an epic speech from Steph. And I'm telling you, YouTube heard it and was like, nope, we can't let this girl tell the truth anymore. We can't let her keep going. Well, Steph will join back with us in a minute. But let's keep going with these questions in here. Morse Code Z says, I just have to ask, is Steph's middle finger really that long, or was it tweaked in the teaser image so it was low-key flipping someone off? Who the fuck knows? Was it tweaked in the teaser image? So that would be a Jake Yacovetta question. Steph does have pretty long hands, and she also gets these crazy ass nails on them, which she doesn't have right now because of the pandemic. They told everybody to remove all of their nails. She has like these crazy fucking claws. So probably it really is her long ass finger, long ass nail. By the way, guys, popping in right now. SEN must be the man, the myth, the legend himself, Christian Harloff, who I fucking adore. Because you're a GD rock star. That's right, baby. Honestly, it's such a pleasant, like I wrote this in the group, but no matter whether people root for me or against me in the Schmodown, what a great soft place to land right now of like just love and people who actually care, and just a nice wanted distraction from the being at this 24/7 and raising money and bringing awareness and all this stuff. I'm obsessed with Schmodown, and I'm so happy with tournament season and everything going on. And yeah, it's been a much needed relief from all this other stuff. Going back in here, guys, Glenn Caesar, poor Steph. Where do we think she went? Glenn Caesar says, hello, Roxy and Steph. Again, much love to you all and all the Rockstars band for your ongoing support of the movement. I hope you all have the best Monday that you possibly can. Any chance of a hashtag Black Lives Matter fundraiser live stream from the World Girls? I think that's an awesome idea. We were supposed to do a World Girls episode a few days ago. It just felt like not the move to just give something a whirl randomly right now. So maybe it could be the World Girls give fundraising a whirl. That kind of sounds like a legit thing, and we see what we can do. Because I do know that we really want to be raising as much money as possible. I'm giggling right now because Ace Money said, "Do we ever start a GoFundMe for Steph's internet?" The funniest part about this is she was streaming in San Diego with her shitty ass internet from her parents' place, and we could not figure it out. So she ordered the Ethernet cord and all this stuff. But because of the protests that are going on here, she came back to Los Angeles and she has perfect internet in LA. She just, I don't know, maybe her computer died. Are we nervous about her? She's fine. We saw her roommate walking around. I don't know. She's not even in the waiting room. I'll just text her. Hello. Okay. So yes, I definitely think there's a chance of that. I mean, I know Doreena's been pushing really hard on her front. Doreena's texting Steph and I like every day, 15 times a day with different links and petitions and sign this and tweet this. And I love that about her, which has been amazing. And Steph and I are responding with all of our shit too. It's definitely been like a lit thread right now during all of that. Ace says plot twist. It wasn't her roommate. No, it was. That was Hay. Okay, she said, this is what she said, guys. What the fuck? The computer just died on me trying to fix. And then in case I didn't believe her, she sent this picture. Well, she'll come back when she can. Going back through this, guys, and remind me, Glenn, to remind Steph about this protest because we will be doing it. Dorina is a beast. That is right, Chad. D-Train says, hey, guys, I'd like to know what are Steph's favorite movies of all time. Keep doing you, Roxy. You're amazing. All right. So we're going to have to ask her when she comes back. But I do know that she's obsessed with V for Vendetta. Obviously, she was just talking about that on the stream today. And of course, Star Wars, because she's a massive Star Wars geek / nerd. So when she comes back, we'll ask her about that. Steph's internet does hate her. Going back in here, Glenn says, Roxy, here's to the so I can have something other than ramen or brown rice for dinner this week fund. LOL, love you. Glenn, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Just going to keep on keeping on with that ramen life. Look who's back again. Steph is back. Dude. Tell a friend. So the people in here are making so much fun of your internet. I told them that you moved. Like you are not even in the shit internet location anymore.
Dude, that wasn't even my internet. I'm on my phone right now. My computer just decided that it was going to update. I swear the KKK is infiltrating my mic.
Maybe it's because you said that thing about Katie. They didn't want anybody to know. Shit.
As soon as I said fuck white supremacy, my computer did that shit.
I know. It was woof. So we did have some things come in the meantime. One of the people wanted to know if your middle finger is really long or if it was tweaked in the teaser image. So can we see your middle finger? I told them that you had taken off your nails, so it was probably really long when you had nails. Okay, Glenn wanted to know if we'd do a fundraiser stream for the World Girls. I said maybe we could do the World Girls Give fundraising a whirl.
Yeah, I'm so down.
We would have to figure out what we could do, like also because like we need to be conversing or trying something, but we could try it and see how that goes. I definitely would be down. I would love that. So we should talk to D about that, but I bet we could figure something out. And then D-Train wanted to know your favorite movies. I know we already told him about V for Vendetta and Star Wars, and I didn't know if you had anything else you wanted to add to that.
I started making a new list of this because I never know. But yeah, all the Lord of the Rings I love. I just rewatched them. Austin Powers, obviously, favorite comedy ever.
I like that you say obviously.
Obviously, I'm an Austin Powers shaped my humor, period. Mike Myers is my man. I know there's controversy over that script that you taught me about.
Yeah. Guys, Katie hacked the mainframe.
Snowpiercer, Parasite. Yeah, Katie did that.
Fucking Katie, that bitch. Okay, so going back in here, Malcolm says, love the work you ladies are doing. In the Netherlands, we have our own race issues. This has been and is a global issue and will take many, many years to really change. On another note, I hope your lovely grandparents are doing well. Thanks. I'm actually going to see them after this. They are doing well. Bitchy as ever. But well, I told you guys I
Grammy
had
is not having it.
no. Grammy, oh my god, fucking Steph. My dad called me last night and Grammy somehow Facebook storied out her mortgage.
What? What?
She took a photo of her mortgage with all of her information on it and uploaded it as a Facebook story.
Mm-mm. No, Grammy. And I don't trust Facebook.
No, obviously not. But she like when we tried to take it down, by the time that I had seen it, it already had been and it went away after 24 hours. But like, I don't even know. She's
Dude.
like, I did not do that. And I'm like, okay, but like, you did. It's on your table. And on it, it said like $44444. Like she obviously like, sat on something.
Oh, poor Grammy.
Unrelated to this. You want to talk about something fun?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein, let's go, baby.
Oh my god, dude.
Just fucking kidding. This shit is crazy. So we will get back to BLM discussions and topics and whatnot, but by a show of bunnies in here, who has watched Filthy Rich on Netflix? I believe that's the name, right? Did I make that up? That's what it's called,
Yeah.
right? Jeffrey Epstein, Filthy Rich. Again, I am one episode in and I already feel like taking a fork to my eyes as we are just continuing to watch him rape 12 to 18-year-old and above women. I mean, over and over and over again. This documentary or docu-series is fucking horrifying. And as we're watching in the first episode alone, him and Donald Trump and Donald Trump's quote pops across the screen like he's an amazing man who loves women as much beautiful women as much as I do. He just likes them really young or something like that. And it was like, oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. So Steph, you're further along. Did you finish the series?
No, not yet. You can't binge it because it's so disturbing and it just makes you realize like all the people that are like the all lives matter type people or the people that don't want to say Black Lives Matter and want to keep a racist society and are so powerful are the ones that have all connections with Jeffrey Epstein too.
Like we're watching as the women are telling the police do nothing. The women are telling Vanity Fair reporter, the story gets buried and chopped. Everybody who's trying to come forward physically cannot. And one of the reporters who said that she was going to report on this and Vanity Fair pulled it, she gets told that she was pregnant at the time, that he knows all of the doctors in, I believe it was New York, and that he was going to have a witch doctor put a hex on her baby if he printed anything negative, like threatening. And this happened for years. I mean, like years this was taking place. And the fucking girlfriend, is that his girlfriend or his wife? The one who's
it's so classic though because my mom works with against sex trafficking and all of the rape and assault unit, and always there's a woman with the pimp or the whoever is eliciting women and kids for prostitution and sex trafficking. Always there's a girlfriend, and it's like the most fucked up thing because you're like, you're supposed to have our back. Like, how is that possible?
You are, I hate to say this, but I even think you might be worse than him. Because like, and maybe that's not true, and maybe you have trauma from your past or whatever it is, but like, if you are she wasn't even just like unaware, she's in the fucking room multiple times, and it's like so fucked up. Glenn Caesar said, Rox and Steph, did you see the Epstein and Trump leak from Anonymous a week or so ago about their sealed court documents? I did see this. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
I mean,
but like the crazy part is like, if you had asked me before like 2015 stuff, if I would have believed Trump or someone in like with that much power and popularity would have done anything like this, I would have been like, this is like so gross. I think this is just kind of too far. And now I'm like, I 100% believe everything that they said.
I know. Like, you think that people would do anything to get him out of office or whatever, and you think like, there's no way that the president of the United States is a child rapist. And then it's like, unless he fucking is. And based on these documents, I mean,
also, language and action matches action. All of his language and his action actually show like you are a fucking rapist. Whether or not you're on the presidential podium or not, what you're saying is rapey, and you are.
Everything like that he's done and showed should not make us surprised if that is the case. It's like there would be no level of shock to that, because this is the man that we elected even after hearing grab him by the pussy. Like, that was, we knew that and elected him anyway. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was talking to a lawyer friend of mine who said that probably because the names of I think it was 2 women that it came out, like one was 14, one was 16 or something, that they probably won't come forward because it's past the statute of limitation at this point. Nothing will be able to be proved. It won't do much for them, and their names will just be completely tarnished because that's what people fucking do. So probably we will never hear more about this.
No, and also for the people that want to just not believe women who have been assaulted, people settle because the system is not built to protect women or people of color, which we've seen in these protests. And that's exactly right. Like, there are still, my mom just helped pass a law that made it so women who were sex trafficked wouldn't get charged with if they had drugs in their system. And it's like, of course they have drugs in their system. They put drugs in their system so they stay their sex trafficked slaves. And like, so we have to realize people settle because at least they get something, because they won't get it in court.
Right. And that's what we've seen in the Jeffrey Epstein doc, at least so far. Like, the system is not set up to believe victims or survivors. It's not. And so, and a lot of the people that are victims or survivors are people that are preyed upon because they are in financially or otherwise weak situations. So, of course, if they don't believe that they're going to win a case because that's the way our system's set up, and they have no fucking money, because as we see, Jeffrey Epstein is like paying them $200. That's why it's considered prostitution, child prostitution, and not just rape, but it's prostitution because he's paying them, but they don't even know that they're going there to do that in the first place. He's paying them after he's gotten them there to give him a massage or whatever, and he's raping them. So it's like, the whole thing is so fucked up. So fucked up. So I'm so glad we took a pleasant break from Black Lives Matter to talk about like things that, also need fucking protesting.
Yeah, everyone should watch this, honestly, and tell people to watch it, because especially before this election, people really, really need to know. Aww.
Straight up.
Thank you.
Kate, I'm with you. Her mom is such a fucking hero and champion and everything else. And also adorable. Just the best.
Also, yeah.
And also freaking adorable. So speaking of your mom and just in general, you were coming from San Diego because you were at your parents' house, we know, for a little bit, but now you're back here. What was it like in San Diego right now? I know when you were there, it didn't seem like there were many protests going on, but now I see that possibly there are.
Yeah. So when I was there was a lot of just like community-based meetings or just talking about what they should be doing. There was smaller protests like what you're seeing on the side of the roads where they have signs and people honk. And then also there was sectors, which I don't agree with this necessarily, of people who would protest and go to elected officials' homes. That's kind of too far for me as an activist, because you don't know if their kids, their parents, who's living there, and it's just like a little invasive. But I did hear about that happening. I'm sure it's happening all over LA too.
I've been hearing about that as well. What do you think is the too far part? Because I'm kind of with you, but why do you think being outside somebody's home is too far? Because it's not that I'm not with you. I'm just wondering.
For multiple reasons, it's someone's home, which is where we've been all trained from our beginning of life to know that your home is your safe spot. Like that's kind of where like you can like lay down and be like, I am safe here. And also we need to, it's hard, but I do think it's important to separate the person and the elected official. And a lot of times elected officials are doing stuff and it's not right, but because they feel pressure due to their party or just because the system wasn't made to protect people. So they're kind of at a loss sometimes of how to protect people because there's not laws in place. So for all those reasons, it seems like it's missing the mark as opposed to I see the point it's making, but I think 50,000 people in the streets of LA closing down roads and shops and not paying into the pockets of big corporations for a day is just so much more powerful than showing up at someone's home when you don't know who's there.
I'm assuming that the one of the exceptions to that would be the White House.
Oh, yeah, because that's not their home. That's a people's home.
Yeah.
We pay for you to live there with our taxes.
Yeah.
We own that.
Love spending my money that way. So happy to do it. Good.
Yeah,
Good,
like
good.
we pay for these people. And the same thing with I mean, it's so important. I saw someone in the chat wrote this. And it's a quote from V for Vendetta. The government should fear the people, not the other way around. And like we have to remind ourselves that we are paying for all of this. So even when the police show up to the protest, they're there to protect us. So them
Yeah, that's why they're supposed to be called peace officers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're fucking not. And it's just not the way that it's been. Ben Jones says, quick positive story. In Virginia Beach, we had a moment that gave me hope. A churches 1,000+ gathered together and marched advocating for peace. Also, white pastor asked the church to repent for aiding racism. This blessed my soul. This is interesting. I haven't seen many religious responses to BLM, maybe because that's just not my world at all. But I do wonder what, I know that there's been a lot of signs, at least that I've seen, Jews for Black Lives Matter, because I know the Jewish community feels very close to the Black community and feels like two of the biggest atrocities that have ever happened of the face of this earth have been slavery and the Holocaust. So like in that way, we do feel, I love connecting over things like that. But I know that I've seen that a little bit, but not as much as the religion of Judaism, more the cultural aspects of being Jewish. I haven't seen with Christianity or the churches. Steph, have you noticed anything like this taking place?
Yeah, the Pope Francis actually showed up in support of BLM and said that he encourages all the bishops to do the same. And I know one of the bishops in California, I believe it was, said like that he was with BLM and racial equality.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. They never do that shit ever.
Well, I think it's because this is not a fucking political or religious issue.
Yeah.
It's not. So,
and if you're really religious, then you should be the number one person on the front lines, because you would know that in almost the Bible, the Quran, it's slipping my Torah, all of the religious things.
Oh no, we lost you for a second, but you're back. But you're frozen.
I got a call. Am I back?
Oh, yeah, you're back. You're back. But totally. And like, even if you think about it, like, thou shalt not kill, right? Like, that's what's happening is murder. So if you're really religious, then you don't want that. So even with my very small understanding of religion, there we go with that one. Nerds in Suits, Ben Bateman in the house. Steph's internet is crystal clear. Hooray. Two lovely ladies on the sunny Monday. You must have said that before we lost you for a second. We've had quite the issue today and all the days. Steph, the internet gods do not love you.
I
know. Ben Jones says, by peace, I mean police reform and an end to systemic oppression by getting support from local officials. Super stoked. It just feels like, and I'm so happy you're stoked, Ben, and you rock, but it just feels like that shouldn't be something we have to be stoked over, people doing their fucking jobs. Like,
I know.
Like, that's your, I mean, I keep going back to that Chris Rock stand-up of the no bad apples. Have you seen this?
Oh yeah.
Like you just don't get to be a bad cop. That just shouldn't be a fucking phrase.
There's just such a hypocrisy with the whole all lives matter side and the blue lives matter side, where they're the same people that are pro-life, and then it's like, then why don't you care about black lives? And they're the same people that are like, oh, all the people of color are on government aid, and it's like, people are on government aid because the government fucked them. And what are you? You're on government aid by being a government worker. We pay for you. So I don't know what, like, it's like, you guys need to get it together.
Yeah, yesterday there was a comment. Jake Yacovetta actually wrote it. My amazing mod and friend, he wrote that if somebody doesn't believe that Black Lives Matter and wants to have a conversation, he's willing to talk to them. If they don't believe that and they're going to be a fucking dick and racist about it, then he doesn't want to talk to them. And I wrote back and was like, I don't know, if you don't believe that Black Lives Matter, aren't you a racist, period? Like, what the fuck is there to talk about? But then friend of the show, Winston Marshall, went in there and was like, hey, Rox, I appreciate your sentiment here, but like, I need you to talk to them anyway. Because if they don't believe that Black Lives Matter, you have to try to talk to them and explain why they do. And I told them, okay, I will. And I promised that I will, and I will. I'm just so frustrated because why the fuck if you don't believe that Black Lives Matter, what the fuck am I doing talking to you? Like, what do we have to talk about?
Yeah, that's really deep, because whatever the Black community needs, and that's probably actually exactly it, fuck y'all do. But yeah, that's tough.
For lack of better words, I don't want to. I don't want to spend my time talking to a racist. Like, fuck off. No.
Wow.
But yeah, I swear I will, so I will. Lawrence Lease said, I live in the bad part of West Palm Beach. Fuck Epstein. Yeah, because that's what Epstein would do. He would get people from the like, I don't know whether it's called inner city part of West Palm Beach, but the poorer part of West Palm Beach and bring them over a bridge to Palm Beach.
Classic predator.
It's fucking disgusting.
That's what they do. Yeah. And also talk about the same type of people that are like, oh, you don't want police, and it's like, he was raping girls in areas with self-patrol, right? Those rich areas were self-patrolled. Like, just
what is that?
Insane. What is that?
But it's crazy that like we can sit here and be like, what the fuck is that? But it's still not law or like makes sense.
Yeah.
Like how do people get to the place that they get to? Like, how do people decide this is the way it's going to be? And it's like, are you fucking stupid? How are you in a position of power? How are so many stupid people in positions of power?
It's Martin Luther King said it. He said, like, to be racist, you either have to be willfully ignorant or consciously, I forget what the word was, but either way, you are aware of
malicious.
What you are doing. Yeah, I think that might have been it. And it's just like all of us now have been able to kind of like defog the lens we've been looking through our whole life. And if you really look at the policies that have been made and are still being made, even Trump today is trying to make it so gay couples can't adopt, I've heard. It's like, those are
I've been reading about that.
It's
so you're telling me
racist and hateful.
You're telling me you think that it's better for children to have no home than a gay home. And even that phrase is not a real thing. A fucking gay home. What is that? It's just a home.
Yeah. And during Pride Month. They have not been quiet. And now I think we finally realize how explicit and obvious their racist and hateful acts have been since the beginning of time of this country. And now we're kind of like, we fucking see you, and it's not going to fly anymore.
This is coming in from Mike Riley, and I'll be honest, I'm not as up to date on this as I would like to be. I know I saw something a couple days ago, but he says, please discuss the Nacho Vidal manslaughter charges beyond batshit. Have you heard about this at all?
No.
This is the toad venom one, I think. So Okay, looking over at this, Spanish porn star Nacho Vidal is under investigation for manslaughter after a man died during a ceremony involving toad venom. Vidal and 2 other individuals were arrested on May 29th, according to his lawyer, David Salvador. They were arrested on suspicion of manslaughter and following an 11-month investigation, according to a statement from Spain's law enforcement agency. They appeared before a judge on the same day. A spokesman for the Supreme Court of Valencia told CNN all 3 were released provisionally and investigations continued. According to the spokesman, police have not named the man who died. The names of the other 2 people, a man and a woman who were arrested along with Vidal, have also not been made public. Salvador told CNN the death was a tragic accident and that his client was not responsible. And then there's a lot of images of a toad. He said the person who died had used the toad venom before and had wanted to experience it again. So I guess a man was using toad venom for what? Maybe it's like a drug kind of thing?
Or like a sexual thing? I don't know.
I don't know, because of the porn star element. I really don't know. I can't talk much about this because I don't really know what's going on. Again, my focus has been so focused, so centered on BLM that I don't really know what else is going on in the world, but that does sound batshit.
That sounds insane. That sounds like
I don't even really know. Yeah. Ryan Kramer says it's a hallucinogenic.
Oh.
I feel as if, I mean, again, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I feel as if this porn star had access to the hallucinogenic, but the person who took it had taken it previously and then died, it's very hard to be able to charge him with manslaughter. Although it happens with drugs all the time. Because it's involuntary. Yeah. I mean,
it's going to be really hard. And also it's like not even like you're using acid or shrooms or like you pick something that it's called venom, which means poison.
Yeah. Toad venom. Broken Blue says, I encourage you both to watch a 6-minute video on YouTube called How Can We Win? It's a great answer to the people who seem to only care about looters and rioters. Steph, so unrelated to that. Steph, any new R&B that you're listening to? I've been listening to Seven Streeter and Genevieve, is what Broken Blue says.
That video is awesome. I believe the woman who spoke is Kimberly Jones. She's an author and activist. She's fucking amazing. And I posted like a series of information regarding the the Rosewood massacre and the Tulsa race massacre that she talks about. But yeah, you guys should definitely watch that. It gives good history and kind of meaning of what is going on right now. But no new R&B. I'm like Rox, where I'm like kind of under a rock. I've been listening to Snow Allegra. That was someone new that I've been put on to. I know she's been out for a little bit, but she's awesome. And then Janae, I've been more in love with her than ever. She's been calming me.
In the patreon.com/Roxy Stryer, Garth McMurray says, because of my low immune system and many other health problems, doctors have ordered that I stay safe quarantined in my apartment as much as I want to join the protests and gatherings in Boston, but it would be too risky for me even with masks and gloves. I'm glad that we live in a day and age when we have the internet to take part in protesting online and helping to raise funds for causes and spread the messages of Black Lives Matter everywhere. Garth, I completely agree. And what I will say is, it's even more important for you to stay home because we don't want to change the narrative. The last thing we want to do is send people out with low immune systems. And then after this, have a bunch of people get fucking sick and have the other side be able to point to, see, they don't care about people's lives. So
yeah,
you've got to stay home. And you are right that you can protest online. And there's so many things like we talked about with petitions and donating and all the things that we can do. So, and spreading the word. And I'm glad that your doctor said that and that you're staying home, because I know you've been dealing with a lot, Garth, and you weren't able to leave at all during this time. I believe not even to go to the grocery store. So you got to stay safe, and I'm glad that you're doing so.
Me too, totally.
Ben Jones says, last question. As a Black person, I am so grateful for the support and empathy from others and from other cultures. For the both of you, what's the line from empathy and shame? So like, I think maybe meaning what makes you feel shame versus empathy, or what is the line there? Steph, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I actually been thinking about this because I'm so against shame culture. Brene Brown, she's like one of the queen authors that I follow. She always talks about shame and how ingrained it is in society, and it actually works at such a detriment to us. Like whether we shame our friends, our family, our coworkers, or shame people like this, it's not effective, and it makes people feel like shit. And if anything, it will make people react even more vulgar than they probably were. So I try really hard not to shame, but it is hard because like Roxy was saying, like the people who like come in your DMs and shit and say all lives matter and like, or say some racist shit about Black people. It's like, honestly, I want to shame you so bad and drag your ass, but I also want to educate.
Yeah, it is so hard. And I told you guys about the acting class. Steph, I told you about this too, that I've been
Yeah.
struggling with somebody in the acting class, and it's still ongoing. And I might have to take a step back from it because of my mental health, honestly, because I don't think I can be creative with somebody that I'm feeling like I have to educate so clearly. I still will try to educate, but I don't think that I can really focus on doing a creative project with them when they're not somebody
because
that
that's just like extra.
Right. So it is hard, but I do think that I feel two ways about this. Number one, if you think you can get through to somebody, shame is not the way to go, because that's not going to help. But I also, and pulling somebody aside and explaining it might really get through to them. But I also believe as a society, we kind of need to shame the concept of racism, because if we don't, future generations are going to think that's okay. And
Yes.
and you need to feel ostracized from society. These are harsh words, but if you do not believe that Black Lives Matter, you need to feel fucking crazy. You need to be surrounded by so many people
Yes.
that are like, wait, I'm sorry, are you a fucking moron? You don't think that Black Lives Matter? Like, what the fuck even is that? And I don't mean that so that they feel shame, but I just think that that is the way to stop future generations from being like, it's okay that I have racist parents and for me to be racist, because they need to see that actually fucking is not okay. And you can't get a job, and you can't have a normal love life or any of those things. So,
Rox, I'm with you. That's like the full point, like my point in full circle. It's like usually, no, I don't shame, but I agree. When it's an issue like this and we've normalized racism to be okay, even in joking form and microaggressions, it needs to be shamed out of society immediately.
Yeah. So it's hard, because if you really think you can get through to somebody, then shame is not the tactic. But if somebody is too far gone, like, and when somebody's too far fucking gone, you can, like, if somebody,
I've said a few.
No, go ahead.
I've asked a few times to people in my DMs, I've said, do you want me to use this as a time to educate, or do you want me to just go in? Like, I say stuff like that because I'm like giving you the option, because I can respond two ways.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
What do people say
or here's
usually?
why you're wrong. Fuck you. I've gotten like two like pretty good conversations. Luckily, I haven't had that bad of things in my DMs, which I think is because I have been talking about this for a long time. I haven't been doing enough, but every time there was the Tamir Rice's and all of these people who have been murdered in the streets, I have done an okay job of bringing attention to it. So I think the people following me aren't in that group.
That's why I'm so confused at the amount of followers I'm losing.
Because like what you've been,
I'm just super vocal. for better or
Yeah.
worse, for what I'm fucking super vocal. So
Always.
I don't really know what to make of it.
They just didn't believe you. Also, on shaming, everyone's been asking me, and Roxy even too, which I love that she cares to ask me this, like, am I okay with saying that I was protesting? And it's like, all these people are scared about losing their jobs standing up for Black Lives Matter, protesting. It's like, you should be scared about losing your job if you don't want to say Black Lives Matter with your whole chest.
That's
Not
what I
us.
said. I had a friend call me last night who has gained quite a big following on social media and has been not posting much about BLM, a little bit, but not much. And this person called me and was like, I'm ashamed to admit this out loud, but I have worked so hard to have a career, and I'm seeing your followers drop, and I'm seeing all of my friends' followers drop, and I don't know what to do because I don't want my followers to drop. And I was like, I hear you. I don't think anybody wants their followers to drop.
No.
Like that. I'm not like stoked that I'm losing money. I'm losing followers. I'm losing subscribers. I'm losing support. I'm not like fucking in love with that. Like it's not ideal. However, and I told him, you are allowed to do what you want to do. For me, the way I have to live my life is I have to be able to look in the mirror, because if I can't, I don't care how many followers I have, and I don't care how much money I'm making. And I don't care that I can buy a nicer house earlier or do whatever it is, because if I can't look in the mirror, I don't have fucking anything. And if I don't do this right now, so for the most selfish reason possible, if I can't do this right now, then I cannot fucking look in the mirror, because I can't, if my followers are staying exactly the same or growing, but I'm not talking about this. What the fuck do I come on here and talk? I do a show 7 days a week. What the fuck do I talk about right now if this isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
hey guys, just another one. Today we're painting our nails. And oh my God, like, did you see the gentleman? It was so good. I mean, I feel bad because this is what I grab every time I make fun of this, and it has nothing to do with this. Thank you to the studio for sending this to me. This very, very non BLM movie. Nothing against this movie, but like, I do a fucking daily show. I can't. How am I going to look at myself in the mirror if this isn't what I'm fighting for? So I said, know yourself. And if you can compartmentalize, because I know this person is donating, is protesting, is signing petitions. And I'm like, if you can compartmentalize and your following is one thing and the other things are another thing, and you can look in the mirror and you're going to be able to do that, then that's up to you. But, and again, no shame. It's not like a tactic that I'm using. That's true. But if you gain hundreds of thousands of more followers and you weren't speaking your truth out loud and you can't look in the mirror, what the fuck does it matter how many followers you have?
Yeah.
Which just,
it's a
tough.
really, I hear them, but it's like, we have to change the narrative. That cannot be the majority. And it's not like they're showing now their statistics. And I want to look more into this because everyone has to double check statistics. People will use those against you, and a lot of times they're wrong. Just beware. But they're saying there's 65% of Americans, who just shoves them out. And I'm like, that was a lie.
Makes up statistics.
Just like, but says it with such validity. But yeah, and they're saying 65% of Americans feel sympathy towards the Black Lives Matter movement. So even though there are times where some of us feel alone and that we could be losing followers and support, we're not alone. And give it time for people who support you to follow you. Yeah.
But what I will say about that stuff is that I like that statistic. However, I also despise it, because you're telling me that 35% of this country does not feel sympathy for the BLM movement. Who are these fucking people? Who are these Katies? Like,
who are they?
Because I don't know.
They're the people
any
outside their fences with AKs. Yeah, I know. It's
like, there was somebody who popped in here earlier. I saw my amazing mods booted him, but like, who was started writing all lives matter. And it's like, where I know that they say in general trolls come on YouTube who have horrible lives and this is where they come and you should feel bad for trolls, but like I can't feel bad for people who say that. I don't have that in me. Where the fuck are you?
I know. And did you see that? This is who I also think about. Her name's slipping me, but she does daily. She does like the daily pop or some conversation. She's like this black reporter. She's awesome. I follow her. Forget her name, but she was saying, if you actually care about my life and Black lives, then you need to be saying something, because the people who don't give a fuck about her and want her people and Black people dead and not taken care of are really fucking loud. So if you're scared about just saying one thing quietly, there are people screaming racist slurs at our Black brothers and sisters. So silence is violence.
Yeah, I agree. Haley Matthews, Nina Parker. Is that her name of who you're talking about?
Yes.
I don't know Nina Parker.
She's awesome.
I have to look her up. But also, shout out to Haley. You're the best. Thanks for being in here right now. Yeah, I agree. And like the thing that I keep telling all of my non-Black friends is our Black friends are asking us. They are begging us to speak up right now. I don't have one Black friend who's like, I wish that my white friends would be quieter right now. Like, I literally don't know. I don't know anybody saying that. So like,
no,
anybody who's saying like, but I don't know. It's not my time to speak up. Every Black person I know is saying, please fucking help us, please. So
there's no perfect way of activism. I've said stuff that probably didn't sound great and probably wasn't received perfectly, but it's better than silence. I can tell you that much. And in the video that one of the rock stars brought up, the Kimberly Jones video, why we can't win, she said at the end, which was the mic drop, you're lucky Black people are asking for equality and not revenge, because they deserve a lot fucking more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so fucking true. That's a really good point. I haven't heard that, and I need to. Glenn Caesar said, Roxy and Steph, thanks for the great show today. I'm sure if you want to play it, but maybe I'm not sure if you want to play it, but there's a link to the video from Kimberly Jones. I'll definitely look at it later. Anything that I play on here is getting me flagged and everything right now, so I don't want to put it up. But because also a lot of my videos were getting blocked and ripped anytime I was showing anything, which is fucking stupid also.
It's like, come on, YouTube.
Everybody was saying to me, but I'm sure you're not going to leave YouTube. And it's like, so is it better? You guys want me because it's not monetized to get off the platform and not have a platform? Like, that doesn't fucking make any sense either.
That's the same types of people that are like, you don't like this country, leave it. It's like, fuck off.
It's not the fucking point. The amount of people that just miss the point right now is so problematic. Like, I can't even. I know we are getting out of here. And Steph, I know that you've been working so hard on being active during this time that your YouTube is taking a little bit of a sidestep, but you were just telling me about some amazing plans you have for the future. I don't want to spoil them for people, but videos that you're going to be making. So where can everybody keep up with you, find you, follow you, all that stuff?
Yeah, I'll be back when I feel like it's my space to really talk and educate. Right now I'm kind of sitting and listening and being active in other ways, but youtube.com/Steph Sabraw, and then all over social media at Steph Sabraw. We can have conversations. If you guys have some all lives matter people you need me to talk to, I can do that. I can do that.
She's got it in her. She's got the energy. Also, I really do want to do a World Girls Give fundraising a whirl and see what we can do. So we should get on the phone about that even today and see hopefully this week or something. So guys, keep your eyes out for that because definitely if we're trying all different shit, that's the best thing we can try.
Yeah. 100%.
And you guys have been so amazing about helping fundraise in general that I know that you guys will support that as well. And also your handle is right there. Everybody go follow her. Then you'll see all of the things she's doing. Any protest plans this week? Are you going back out, or what is your thought?
Yeah, this week I'll definitely be going back out. The main spots are the Hollywood area that we were in yesterday, just like right off Vine and
Highland, I think.
Yeah, Highland, yeah. And then downtown City Hall is every day, and those have been really, really great. And then this Sunday I'm going to be doing the BLM times Pride, which was awesome initiative by Pride LA. They're combining it to be a BLM protest, but also in solidarity with Pride, because it is still Pride Month, and
Where is
Black
that?
Trans Lives Matter.
Fuck yeah.
PTW. That's in West Hollywood. I don't know the exact location, but Pride LA share what is it? Pin that tweet of the location.
Pin that tweet. Yeah. A little bit of housekeeping here, guys. Tomorrow, remember, I am not going up on time. We're going to be doing, I am saying a 5 o'clock show. There is a chance it gets pushed to 6. The truth is, I've told you guys I'm going to get my fucking hair done. I'm doing it in the safest way I possibly can. These roots have got to go. I'm taking a me moment. But the truth is, with all the new protocols, I don't know how long it's going to take. I know I'm the only one who's allowed to be in there at that time. I know when I get in, I have to do this whole process and they have to do a process. So I think we'll be up at 5. There's a chance we go at 6, but we should be up at 5 considering the appointment is at 9 a.m. So I'm trying to pad in several extra hours. And we will be joined that show by a dear friend of both Steph and I, actually, Takira Sabraw, who is a host. She did the Tomorrow Show with us. She's a soon-to-be mama. It's fine. I wanted to get her a baby shower present with Steph, but Steph got her one without me. It's fine. I'm not bitter about it at all.
Yeah, that was bad.
And she has just incredible stories and is a beautiful person. So I can't wait to have her on as well. And then the next day on Wednesday, my friend Ritza Bloom is coming on. Ritza is the one that I was telling you guys about, who is a writer on High School Musical, the series. We will be asking about how the fuck that title took place, but also is an actress and an activist, and has been bringing her Ritza and her husband David, who I actually know Ritza because David was my high school acting teacher. They have under a 1-year-old baby, and they've been bringing their baby to protest. So all different cool stories that we can talk about there, which have been amazing. So definitely great shows coming up. But everybody, round of applause for Steph Sabraw, her activism, and just being here. Oh yeah. No, it's still not cool when I do it. It's like,
dude, hell yeah to the rock stars, and to you, Roxy. This show has been fucking awesome always, but this week especially.
Working on it, dude. YouTube be damned. Working on it.
Yeah.
That's,
oh
my God, they're fucking these bitches. These bitches ain't shit but hoes in YouTube. It didn't come out as smoothly as I want it to. Everybody, stay as safe as you can. Be an activist as much as you can in whatever way that you can. It all matters right now. However you're supporting. And I'm going to keep on sharing links. I know Steph does a great job on her channel or on her Twitter of sharing different petitions and links and artists, specifically Black artists to follow, and people that are saying important things right now. So definitely check that out. And I will see you guys tomorrow, hopefully at 5 with brighter hair, because we know that's what fucking matters during this time. Live at the Roxy.